want none till I talk to a lawyer.
Almost 1 year after this body camera video was recorded, this man headed to trial for driving under the influence.
Hey, there's vodka in his seat, like right here in a pouch in his seat.
But this video shows a different story as a responding officer opens the vodka bottle for the first time and pours the alcohol out on the street. And later, she admits to destroying the evidence.
But you dumped it out?
Correct.
Despite it being evidence?
Correct.
To understand what's happening now, we have to head back to May 7th of last year.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a topic that is going viral because the race hustlers of America are desperate, so desperate that they are willing to defend a man who was rightfully arrested after being suspected of drunk driving. And he has now been convicted and found guilty in court of DUI. And the race hustlers of America are crying foul in racism because they are falsely claiming that a female police officer who happens to be white planted evidence on him during the DUI stop. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of this story. This is a story involving Mr. Calvin Riley Sr. and Tallahassee Police Department officer Kirsten Oliver, okay, whose interaction went viral after she was seen on body camera taking a bottle of liquor from Mr. Riley's car and pouring it out and then putting it back in the car, documenting that the bottle was open in a police report, despite the camera footage suggesting that the bottle was sealed. And then that being used in the court of law in order to find Mr. Riley guilty of drunk driving, okay, DUI. Now, of course, the race hustlers of America are going to come to the wrong conclusion about this, and they're going to extrapolate that this must be racism, right? See, this is a example of the black man being framed and set up by a white female police officer. She was fishing. She was just looking to get him, okay? And again, this is racism. This is what happens to black men every single day in this country. The police are out to get us.
You know, here's the thing, Sharon. Maybe the guy was impaired that night. Maybe he has a drinking problem. That is possible. But there's a fact here that we know. And the fact is, the officer planted evidence, period. All right, what say you?
Here's what I say. The system is working exactly as it's designed against black people. Note to black people in Tallahassee, you got to get out of the state. Got to get out of the city, the state. FAMU students, stay on campus. You are in danger.
Dude would just fuck up a black person's life for shits and giggles because there's no excuse for any of this. And it's crazy that this is even going this far with the so-called checks and balances in the system. What the hell is the district attorney, the state's attorney, still prosecuting this case for on this flimsy evidence? What the hell is the judge doing by allowing evidence that's faulty to stay in?
It is often these types of scenarios that we constantly see, especially as it relates to black men, how police officers violate their rights. I mean, when you go as far as planting evidence, so put training aside for a second, I think this is more about the behavior that we constantly see. This is a behavior where those who think that it's okay to criminalize citizens.
Black man in a Mercedes.
Now, again, I'm going to tell you guys why this thought process is incorrect, okay? Why a lot of people are getting this story wrong, why this guy was rightfully arrested and convicted. Before I decided to talk out of my ass when it comes to this story, like a lot of people are when it comes to this topic, I actually spoke with 2 police officers who are black about this situation and their thoughts on the situation. So again, I'm not just making things up, okay? I'm actually telling you things that I have discussed with police officers, law enforcement, people who actually do know what they're talking about when it comes to the situation. So I'm going to explain to you guys what is actually happening here. But first, I have to dispel some myths that are being pushed on the so-called pro-black networks like Roland Martin, who claimed that this guy was pulled over because the officer smelled marijuana.
Derek, if I'm the police department,
I'm putting that officer on desk duty where they can get much better training, because I still don't understand. Once she pulled him over suggesting that she smelled marijuana. I guess I'm still confused how you can smell marijuana with a moving car. But then all of a sudden it turns into a DUI and she pours the alcohol out. This whole case has been confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing when you don't actually watch the body cam, when you don't know what the hell you're talking about, when you bring 3 guests who are not police officers, who are not law enforcement, who don't know what the hell they're talking about on your show. Yeah, you are going to be confused because, again, if you watch the body cam footage, she said within the first 1 to 2 minutes of the interaction why she pulled this guy over, and it wasn't because she smelled marijuana. Take a look.
Hello, sir. I'm Officer Oliver with Tallahassee Police Department. Do you have your driver's license, registration, insurance?
This is the reason why you slowed me down.
Yes, sir. So you don't have any headlights on, and you're going really fast down Monroe Street.
Headlight? My headlights automatically on when I'm driving.
They're not on right now.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I'll just want to go ahead and show you. So right now you just have your parking lights on. So if you switch them to, that's your auto. Now they're on. Okay. Sit tight for me, okay?
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, so the race hustler narrative of, well, white woman pulls over black man because he smells like marijuana, broken, right? Already dispelled, already proven to be false, okay? She pulled him over because he was speeding, and also he was driving without headlights on, okay, which is dangerous to do at 2 a.m. at night, okay? Furthermore, she asked him for his license, and he does not have his license, which is also a problem. He's driving without a license. Now, the reason why he doesn't have his license is because his license is suspended, which is what she ultimately finds out after getting his information and checking his information in her system and doing this interaction in which she is discussing the situation with her partner. She's going to further reiterate why she pulled him over, having nothing to do with him smelling like marijuana, but because he also was driving erratically, which would suggest that he was driving under the influence, and that this is 100% legal stop because she had valid reasons to actually stop him. Okay, so anybody that's telling you that she didn't have valid reasons to stop him and that she stopped him just because he was black, not true. Okay, it's on body cam.
Looking around and everything, he says he doesn't carry a wallet. I said, how do you have money? He goes, the bank. And I said, okay. Well, he's just not making a lot of sense. Yeah. He didn't have lights on. He's flying down Monroe Street. And when I went to pull him over, he like started to get over and then came back over and then like is kind of like hovering and then stopped. Okay. So if you'll just see if you can see anything. So he's got suspended. It's Calvin Riley. Yeah. So I'm going to ask him. That's why he doesn't have a driver's license, because he knows it's suspended. So
yeah, so as you can see here, you have a 100% legal, valid stop. Okay, she is articulating not only to the suspect why she pulled him over, but she also articulated that to her partner as well too, who then goes up to the car to ask the suspect, this individual, Mr. Riley, about what he was doing that night, okay, about the beers that apparently he told the officer that he had consumed, and then he basically admitted that, yes, he had been drinking that night, and he had a couple of beers, 2 beers, more specifically is what he said, and he would not submit to a field sobriety test in order to test how drunk he actually was.
Thank you, sir. So I want to go more into the beers that you said you had. Yeah. Would you be willing to do some voluntary field sobriety exercises? No? Okay. Here, go ahead and step out of the vehicle for us. Just go ahead and face the car for us. Your license is suspended, so we're gonna...
No problem.
So what you have here is Mr. Riley on camera admitting that, yeah, I've been drinking. The reason why he was pulled over is because he was driving erratically. He was driving with his headlights off, and he was speeding, which is dangerous. These are signs of somebody that is driving drunk, okay? He refuses a field sobriety test, which he has every right to do. He can say, no, I don't want to take the test. But at that point, police can arrest you, okay, because of suspected DUI, even if you refuse to test after admitting to drinking, okay? I want people to understand. A lot of people leaving this part of the story out. He admitted to drinking and got pulled over for erratic driving, right? I want people to understand that, okay? Because a lot of people missing that part of the story. But that, along with the fact that he has a suspended license, it gives the police officers all the reason in the world to arrest him, to take him in. I want people to understand the case against him when it comes to charging him with a DUI is already there. They don't need any further evidence to justify charging him, considering what they have already and what he has already admitted on camera. However, they're going to continue to search his vehicle because after they arrest him, they do have the right to search his vehicle, okay? And at that point in which they arrest him, the officer acknowledges once again that, hey, you know, this guy kind of reeks of alcohol, okay? He smells like alcohol. And also, she said that she smelled marijuana maybe within the vehicle, but the guy really got pissed off when she accused him of smelling like marijuana or smoking weed.
That bullshit, that's my money right there for my job.
I got you.
So let me tell you something. You see my back of my shirt? What that show? I show you I'm a barber. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're saying is you smell marijuana. You're alive. So I want to show you something.
Go ahead and unlock the car. Or you can
That's cool.
All right, go ahead and sit down in my car for me, okay?
You got me lip gloss in my money?
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Since you smell marijuana.
Yeah, go ahead and sit down.
What's your name?
Officer Oliver, go ahead and sit down for me.
Calvin, sit down for us.
I will. Since you say you smell marijuana.
Sit down, please.
But that's the reason you stopped me, or you
It's
stopped
not
me
the
because
reason I stopped
my
you. For your
light is
lights.
off?
Yes, sir,
Okay.
and you're speeding.
But you know, I wasn't speeding.
Yes.
Because I got a track on my shit.
Okay,
And you smell marijuana.
just watch your foot, okay? Wow, he reeks of alcohol.
Yeah, so she said that, hey, this guy reeks of alcohol, okay? She also claimed that he was slurring his words, that his eyes were red. Again, also combined that with the fact that he was driving erratically, speeding, didn't have headlights on, admitted to drinking. I mean, like, come on, right? At this point, again, it's pretty damn clear what's going on here, okay? So they further investigate this guy's vehicle to see what he has in there and maybe where that smell of marijuana is coming from. And they don't find any marijuana, but I do find it interesting how this guy swears up and down he doesn't smoke, but yet when she opened up the car door, there were White Owl cigarillos found in the door. Yeah, so I know a lot of the race hustlers think I ain't black, right? But I am black enough to know that only a psychopath would smoke cigarillos with tobacco, okay? I'm pretty sure that's not what a vast majority of people who buy White Owl cigarillos do with their cigarillos, right? I'm pretty sure that's not what they do. So I'm just saying, you know, the officer didn't find any marijuana, but I feel like if she would have looked in that pack of cigarillos, she might have actually found where that smell was coming from. But regardless of that, what they did find is that there was a cup that was in the console that they said smelled like alcohol, okay? And then they also subsequently found a bottle of liquor, alcohol, stashed by his seat in the car.
Smell this.
It smells like alcohol.
Yep.
I think we're good on this.
Yeah? Okay.
Based off my training and experience.
Okay. Hey, there's vodka in his seat, like right here in a pouch in his seat. Vodka was found in this pouch in his seat. Huh? And you can just charge him with DWSR.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand, okay? This guy was already arrested, okay, for having a suspended license and suspicion of DUI before the search of the car. Now, again, the reason why is because the totality of the circumstances, the evidence, the fact that he admitted to drinking alcohol, he denied a field sobriety test, he was driving erratically, he was driving without his headlights on, he was speeding, the officer said that he reeked of alcohol, okay, he was slurring his words. All these things were enough for the officers to justifiably arrest him for suspicion of DUI. So what they did in that car really did not have anything to do with justifying his arrest, okay? His arrest was already justified. So what they found in that car really did not affect the outcome of this individual's case, okay? Because he was already screwed. Now, here comes the controversial part that everybody is focusing on that they really shouldn't focus on, because again, he was already screwed before the controversial part in which she takes that bottle of liquor that she found and she pours it out and then puts it back into the vehicle. Take a look. Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Spooky, controversial. She took the bottle and poured it out. Must be racism. She's planting evidence, right? This is what they're saying. Bear with me. I'm gonna explain to you guys why this is stupid, right? It's not just stupid. It's completely irrelevant, and people just plan it up to try to make it something that is not, for clicks and views and the boohoo whine and cry racism. I'm gonna tell you guys why it's not even relevant, okay? But let's play this clip, okay? After the arrest is basically done and this guy is still drunkenly ranting about why, the police officer said that he smelled like marijuana or whatever. Another controversial part that people are talking about is the fact that one of the male officers at the scene was told that the alcohol was open even though it was sealed. And this is what they're using as evidence to say that, well, the alcohol was planted on him as a way to get this guy, to get him, right? Take a look.
I want to close the door now.
Watch your head.
I'm born and raised Leon County, Townsend, Florida. I'm
Calvin,
55 years old, and you are a liar.
Officers are later heard discussing the search of Riley's car.
Did y'all search the car?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing in there?
Yeah. Well, okay, so he had a bunch of alcohol stashed in there, but...
Nothing open or anything?
Yeah, open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, in his, Tervis in the center console, he had a mixed drink, and then under his knee, he had a, little bottle of vodka tucked away.
Oh, so
And he said he was coming from Pockets, and he had drinks at Pockets, so... But anytime I try to ask him anything about it, he gets like this.
What was he saying about the weed?
He's, mad because Oliver smelled weed when she first walked up to the car.
Yeah, so again, this is being used to build up this giant conspiracy that, hey, these officers planted evidence on this guy, right? And further proof that they planted evidence on him is the fact that in the police report, they claimed that the bottle was open even though it was sealed, okay? And they used that as evidence in order to charge this guy with a DUI, except they're wrong, right? And I'm gonna tell you why it's wrong. It's just, again, it's ignorance, okay? First and foremost, the bottle, okay, being mentioned in the police report and the fact that she opened it. Here's the thing. Now, I don't know whether or not that officer actually really thought that the bottle was already open, okay? I'm not necessarily sure at the time in which she took out the bottle and she unscrewed it and put it back in the vehicle that she knew that the bottle was already sealed, okay? We don't know that. Now, she indicated that the bottle was open. However, she has to document what she did in the police report because she doesn't want to make it look like she's hiding anything. This is something that I've confirmed with other police officers, okay, that everything they do at that stop, they have to document, including the fact that they opened the bottle, okay, and they poured it out and they put it back into the vehicle, which she documented with the body camera, okay? The body cam in and of itself is documentation as well. Now, in the actual report, she says that, hey, we found a bottle of liquor, okay, that was open. That's just what she said. Now, what's funny about this and what people don't bring up is the fact that this is department policy, which varies by police department. Some police departments have policies that require you to do that, okay, to pour out any liquids before impounding the vehicle. And then you have other departments that don't require you to do that. The two police officers I talked to, each of their departments had different requirements, okay, in regards to how they handle that. Now, this department, the prosecutor said that this woman misinterpreted the policy. But the reason why she did it is because she thought that that's what the policy was for them to pour out the liquids that they find in the vehicle before impounding the vehicle. However, despite her pouring out the liquids and that being a mistake, it didn't matter because that bottle was not used as evidence, right? It wasn't used as evidence. Okay, he was already arrested before that occurred. And also furthermore, on top of that, this is the kicker. Here's the kicker. He was not charged with having an open container, which you would think that if this was the police officers planting a bottle of open liquor in his car to get the black man, right, to get him, why wasn't he charged with having an open container? Because that is a crime as well, too, that they could have charged him with in order to set him up. But they didn't do that, okay? So, furthermore, the defense is now trying to make the case that, well, you didn't charge the individual with open container, but we still think that you tried to set him up because you tampered with the evidence, you unscrewed the vodka bottle, you opened it up, it was sealed, and you threw it in the car, and you said it was an open container in the police report, even though, again, she has to document these things in the police report. But regardless, okay, they're trying to basically prove that, hey, this bottle was used in order to charge him with a DUI. That's what they have to prove. Take a look.
What was he already placed under arrest for?
Driving under the influence.
Was there another thing?
He was also placed under arrest for driving with a suspended license knowingly.
So did this vodka bottle play any decision or play any role in your decision to have him placed under arrest for driving under the influence or driving with a suspended license?
No, because it was found post his arrest. So typically when I find alcohol in a vehicle, whether it's a DUI investigation or just open container, because I dump alcohol out if I find it. He was not charged with it. So my intention of dumping it out was solely to dump it out and get it out of the car.
Which is 100% standard procedure, just depending on which department you work at, okay? So I want you guys to understand what's going on here. She did not charge him with open container, which she could have, okay? You would think that somebody trying to set up an individual, which is what they claim, the defense is saying that, the woke revolutionaries are saying that, the race hustlers are saying that, you would think that she would have charged him with open container if she actually was trying to set him up. No, she was not trying to set him up. She was just following department policy. Now, did she make a wise choice in regards to her doing that? I wouldn't necessarily say that was the wisest choice, but she didn't really do anything wrong. She probably did not remember whether or not the bottle was open or closed. She probably couldn't even tell when she was unscrewing it. Now, I get some people say, well, you know, she heard the seal crack open and all that stuff. Okay, I understand. I understand. But the point is that, guys, it's irrelevant because the state is not even using that bottle that they found as evidence for him being charged with a DUI because he was arrested before they even found the bottle. And also, they did not issue any charges to him that are directly related to the bottle that they found. Okay, I want people to understand that. This whole bottle situation that people are arguing about and people boo-hoo, whine, and cry racism and coming up with all these conspiracy theories saying that she planted evidence is not even used as evidence for any of the charges that he was facing. It's irrelevant. Had that situation not even happened at all, had she not went into the vehicle, had she not opened up the bottle, he still would have been found guilty of a DUI because the totality of the circumstances, the fact that he was driving erratically, speeding, no headlights, admitted to drinking, reeked of alcohol. That was enough to find him guilty. The bottle was irrelevant. It doesn't have anything to do with him being found guilty or him being arrested or charged.
The vodka bottle as evidence. Like how I stated previously, we found it in the vehicle, so I listed it in my report because I didn't want to look like I was hiding anything.
But you used it as evidence.
The vodka bottle?
Yes.
No.
That's your testimony here today, that you did not use the vodka bottle as evidence.
Correct.
Your Honor, may I approach her with your deposition? Question. And in that report, you mentioned that a vodka bottle was found in a pouch on the driver's seat. Is that correct? Answer, correct. Question, and you mentioned that because it was evidence. Answer, yes. That's inconsistent with your testimony today.
Okay, you asked me about the vodka bottle, and I thought you meant it played into his evidence in his arrest at the point the vodka bottle was found.
But you had automatically that vodka bottle was what was used to put in that cup.
Yes, which was on my end.
Tell the jury why you believed you had probable cause to arrest him for DUI at that point.
Based on the totality of the circumstances, Officer Oliver had observed poor driving patterns, and then my own personal observations with the thick, slurred speech, watery, bloodshot eyes. He had said he was leaving a bar and said that he had consumed a couple of 2 beers there.
Yeah, again, so I want you guys to understand, without the whole opening the bottle situation, which was only documented in the police report because they quite literally have to document it, right? They have to document everything that they did. I want people to understand. Without that, he still would have been found guilty because of the totality of the circumstances. He was arrested for suspicion of DUI before they even entered the vehicle and found the bottle. I want people to understand that he would have been screwed regardless, based off his own admission, based off his own testimony, based off what he smelled like, based off what he was doing while he was driving, based on the fact he was driving dangerously, okay? Based on everything the officer observed, he was screwed. He didn't want to take a field sobriety test. He was screwed. But again, if you listen to the woke revolutionaries, no. It's racism, right? He's an innocent black man, and they set him up. And again, it's just because he's black and is racist.
Thing she's trying, she's fishing. What she's trying to do is basically put charges on him. They're trying to double up on these charges, okay? That's exactly what they're trying to do. Sure enough, you're in Florida. Most of these Floridians are anti-black racists themselves, okay? Or self-hating blacks or self-hating Dominicans or Latinos or wherever they are, okay? Sure enough, boom, guilty, done. That's it. Took them, I think it was a pretty fast turnaround too. I think in less than an hour or something like that, they come to a conclusion. Based off of what?
Based off of what? Based off of what? Well, based off the fact that, well, again, he admitted to drinking and driving. He was driving erratically. His headlights was off. He was speeding. All dangerous things, right? Very dangerous things. All signs of driving while intoxicated, okay? He reeked of alcohol, and they noted that after they actually got him out of the car. Again, you know, it's just so funny how these people pretend like there was nothing here. There was no evidence, okay? There was no evidence for them to arrest this guy. And what's so hilarious is that the whole conspiracy of, well, they're just trying to throw charges at him. It's so funny because it falls apart as soon as you realize that he was not even charged with having an open container, but yet everybody wants to focus on this open container. When he wasn't even charged with that. He already was arrested for a DUI before they found a container. So again, if they're just trying to throw charges at him, why did they not charge him with an open container if that's what the intent was? And why would she do it on camera, right? Why would she do it on camera? Again, I want you guys to understand how much of a stretch this has become, right? People really believe that this police officer had the intent of setting this man up by recording herself opening up a sealed container of alcohol to say that it's an open container, and then not even charge him with the open container and record herself doing it, but don't even go out of her way to actually charge him with an open container, which is what the relevant charge would be for him having that bottle of alcohol open in the car. He was already arrested for the DUI. He was already in the back of the vehicle. Again, none of this makes sense. Again, it's ridiculous, okay? But, you know, it's just funny to me because even the guy that they're trying so hard to defend, even he has accepted responsibility for what he did.
Mr. Riley, please rise. Do you have anything that you wish to say before I pass sentence?
I accept the responsibility for getting upset and let my emotions get over my judgment of just being a person and staying calm. Like I stated before, I was only going through this emotional stuff because the past I've been through with law enforcement and what I started going through that night with these officers, it was just a repeat of what I experienced growing up here. And it made me very upset and angry. And if anyone was hurt in that moment, I apologize, but at the same time I was hurt too. And I'm still dealing with it. And that police that the state is talking about, I was unaware of that until like they came on board and I had a new lawyer. All this stuff was brought to my attention sweat last month. and things start changing. But I don't have time to process all this stuff neither. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Thank you. You didn't have to say anything, but I appreciate you speaking.
Yeah, so you see, they heard that. Okay, this guy got found guilty. He got a slap on the wrist. I think he got like 10 days in jail, maybe a few months probation. He has to take some like breathalyzers and tests periodically. But I mean, for the most part, it's a slap on the wrist. Okay, I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. But what you have here are individuals that are so desperate, okay, to find instances of racism in policing that they are literally defending drunk drivers. A man who could have literally killed somebody that night, right? If that police officer had not pulled him over, he could have killed somebody with the way that he was driving. But these idiots are coming out the woodwork trying to defend him when he's clearly and obviously in the wrong. He admitted that he's in the wrong. He admitted that I was drinking. And the totality of the circumstances, the fact that he was pulled over in the first place supports the facts that he was drinking, right? Which is illegal. That officer saved a life. And instead of actually thanking that officer for saving a life, what these people are doing, they're trying to get this officer fired. They're trying to make her lose her job because she saved lives. That's where we're at this point. That's where we're at. That's how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs insane these people have become. That's how desperate they are. The only reason this is a story is because he's black and the woman was white. If the woman was white and the guy was white, wouldn't be a story. If the police officer was black and the guy was white, wouldn't be a story. Only because the suspect is black, that's the only reason this is a story. And instead of being honest, instead of educating yourself about why did the police do what they did and really understanding the case and the situation, no, these people want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry racist. Oh, it's racist. He innocent. When this dude is out here driving drunk could kill somebody, could take somebody's life, and you're defending this? You're defending drunk drivers, idiots who admitted to drinking and driving? It's nonsense, man. It's crazy. The level of stupidity that we have in our modern day discourse in politics is it's mind-blowing. It's astonishing. I can't believe it. I just can't believe how dumb some people are. You come up with this grand conspiracy that makes absolutely zero sense just to try to ruin somebody's life over false accusations of racism. Because you want so desperately to push out this narrative that black men are being harassed in the street by police officers. The system is against us. And listen, I'm not even saying that doesn't happen sometimes, right? I'm not saying that there are not situations where police are screwing over black people on purpose. I'm not saying that, but this is not it. This is not one of those situations, and trying to make this situation something that is not actually takes away from real situations where police officers are actually screwing black people over. That's the problem. So it really is beyond me. I'm not surprised, but again, it really does show you how desperate these people have become. I hope that you guys understand why this was the right outcome, why this officer did what she did. There's nothing sketchy going on here. They were not planting any evidence. None of this stuff that they're saying really makes sense in regards to this grand conspiracy about this woman trying to get this man. She saved a life, potentially. She potentially saved lives. And that is what the story should be, but unfortunately it's not, because we have a class of race hustlers in our society that always want to keep chaos and division stirred up between people, and they're using stories like this and their ignorance in order to promote a narrative that's just simply not there. It doesn't even make sense if you know what you're actually looking at, and if you actually read the case and look into things. There's a reason why that jury did not take a long time to find this guy guilty, because it was clear and obvious what was going on here. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.